Hello everyone, this is Kristen with Chrissy's Crafts, and this is the third segment in our Monogram Stationery series. And tonight's video is going to feature how to make the gift box. So now that we're ready to make our gift box, I have 3 pieces to show you. Here's my actual template, and every time I do something like this, I like to have a template in my file to refer to at a later date, comprised of 2 pieces, and after it's all cut out, this is what it will look like. This is the bottom portion, and this is the top portion. Since we need it to be 8.5 inches high, we just need to go ahead and cut it at 8 inches. We'll go ahead and do. Now, keeping the paper at 8.5 inches high, you are going to score it at 7.5 inches. And then move it over and score at 7 inches. Flip your piece of paper around and do the same thing. Now, you're going to need to switch it in the opposite direction so your lines are now running horizontal, and you're going to score it at 4 inches. And you're going to score it at 3.5 inches. Top portion, which is the higher section, is facing at the top, and you're working with the shorter portion at the bottom. You're going to cut out these 2 sections. So we'll do that now. So right where those 2 score marks are, you don't need those. So we're going to go ahead and cut those out. And the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then you just need to cut this tab on this score line and turn it around and cut the tab on this side. I just wish my lighting right here was a little bit better. It's a little bit faint to see. So that is right now the top portion of our box. And as you can see though, on this piece, I've rounded the corners just because it gives it a more finished look. So we'll go ahead and do that right now and then set this piece aside. So now we're going to make the top portion of our box. And to do this, we are just going to cut it, again, we're going to utilize the 8.5 inches wide, but we are going to, or the height, making it that way, we're going to cut it 5 7/8 inch wide. So, just move that up to 5 7/8. Now we need to score at 4.5 and 5 inches. And now our box is ready for assembly. What we're going to do is we're going to start folding on our fold lines. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some glue right here at the very top. And then down here at the bottom. And one in the center. Basically, I'm just going to make a big H. And very carefully lining this up, because lining up is critical, just line it up with all the score marks. So that's step 1. Next, what I'm going to have you do is flip over the box, fold these in so they're out of the way, and just hit these little tabs, the back side of them, with a little bit of glue. Now carefully, so that you really get your box to line up perfectly, form that corner so you have a nice tight little corner. You want it to be perfectly lined up, and repeat on the other side. Okay, we're back again. I noticed that my ATG gun was getting really low on glue, and so what I did is I grabbed some terrifically tacky tape to do this next step, just to conserve on the ATG adhesive. So now with moving the strips from the tape here, and we're going to try and form this box again as straight as possible. We really want to line these edges up. So that side's done. And being very careful, we'll go ahead and line up this other side. I actually like using the ATG gun a little bit better for this because if you need to realign something, it's easier, but that's okay. So now we have our box is complete, and we just need to do our cover piece, which we're going to have that match our corresponding stationery set that we did, which is this floral pattern that we did yesterday. So I have that all set in the color bug ready to go. So we just need to crank it through. And I'll be sure also to put these dimensions for this base plate on the annotation so you have the exact measurements. I will go ahead and use the, let's see, which way do I want? I want to go that way. ATG for this. And we're going to hope that I don't run out. I don't have any more in stock, and I don't have any on the way, so I'm going to be obviously making an order immediately tomorrow or tonight online. So now we're just going to go ahead and center this up in the panel and lay that down flat. Okay, so now here we go with that. Perfect. And what you do, just go ahead now and put your stationery in the box. It's a perfect fit. So there you have your stationery and your embossed envelopes. Everything fits in there nicely. You just pull down on the lid. And I already have some black ribbon and the monogram that we use for the stationery all set to go. We'll just go ahead and pull that around. This is what's going to keep our box closed. Just wrap it around. Put your monogram over to the left like we did on the stationery. Wrap it around, and this time instead of cutting it off, we're going to go ahead and just tie a bow, since this is going to be the closure for our stationery box. And so we'll need a nice little pretty bow. I'll leave it longer. We're not going to cut it off because once again that's going to hold the stationery in place. And, well, actually I take that back. I am going to cut this off a little bit because I don't want to have it cover the monogram initial. So there we go. A nice gift box for our stationery set. Everything's included inside.